You put the roofies in the pudding, you put the pudding in the woman, and you do the poop to poop to poop.
Oh my God, I wish you could cut this.
Hey, get in here. Dallas is about to start.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Ewing Barbecue Podcast.
Woo!
These are our faces. Hello.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Our frightening mugs.
Speak for yourself. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
This is our first time ever doing a Facebook Live, so...
Live from Alabama. I'm just kidding.
We have no idea.
we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
So we're going to, when do we want to...
So, we officially start? Okay, let's start. Welcome to the Ewing Barbecue, where the opera ain't over till the fat lady sings. Or so Jared's daddy says.
Yeah. It's not over.
Yeah.
Long way from over. And we're just beginning.
Many seasons before it's over.
Many seasons.
As the carpenter said, we've only just begun.
Oh, yes. I love me some Karen Carpenter. I'd just like to do a quick thank you shout out to our Patreon members, Brendan Phillick, Captain America, Sheen Pye, Laura Bernheim, Anita Wren, and Kristin Carlano. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome.
You keep us supplied. Thank you.
Yes, you keep us in all the things. And we
Keeps
thank
the
you
bourbon,
very much.
Keeps the bourbon flowing. Woo! So who thinks I should do a chug from the bourbon bottle tonight? No.
I do, right now. Do it. Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
I second that emotion.
Do it.
I'm going
Okay.
to do it.
Do it.
Just do it.
Do it.
Okay, so do we have any...
For those in the know or that want to know, Josh Henderson is on All Rise season 3, which I thought had been canceled by CBS after season 2, but the OWN network, OWN, has picked that up for season 3. So if you get that, look for him whenever it debuts. They're filming right now.
He's such a cutie. And somebody here, this blonde woman nameless, loves him.
Is it you, Sarah? Because you got blonde highlights now.
These are my great old woman highlights. It's not blonde.
Oh, so I'm the blonde who loves him? Yes, guilty.
Okay.
You are.
Well, you're the youngest one on the thing.
I'm also single.
Just FYI.
This side of the screen, top and bottom, is still single. That side is married. Not to each other, but
See, y'all reverse
The night is young.
Yeah, I know they're over here.
Melanie.
anything could happen. But the Blu-ray remastering is almost done of all 14 seasons, apparently. And
That's exciting.
the 19th of April was the anniversary of no, not 19th, the 21st was the anniversary of Ken Kershavel's passing, 3 years.
Oh, I love him.
And yesterday, the 26th, was the 41st anniversary of Jim Davis. And it was also Jordana Brewster's 42nd birthday.
Yeah.
So that's all I got here.
And I hope he's still watching right now because he's at work. But I just got a text from my husband that said, "Are you smoking in the den?"
Hi, Scott.
We're going full Motley Crue. We're going to be smoking in
He's
the boys'
texting
room.
back right now. I'm sure it's something.
Here we
It doesn't even look lit.
He goes, "I'm watching you." That's creepy, baby. Anyway,
I love it.
Yeah.
I said, just hold it for a little while. I do, and then I'll have one.
Smell it, Josh.
I just hadn't had some in a little while. I just remembered how much it burned.
You
can't shoot whiskey. It's okay.
Hey.
He can with a pickleback. I've seen him do
There
it.
you go. Boom, 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 boom.
Have you ever tried it with?
I was doing bourbon shots with Josh Henderson in the cast of Dallas in Texas in 2012. So
Pixar
So
didn't
10
happen.
years.
what?
I said Pixar didn't happen.
Mary, what are you drinking?
Oh, I am drinking my leftover Halloween beer that I have. This is called Howling Gourds Pumpkin Ale.
I still want to try.
And let me see. This is from Joseph's Brow Brewing Company in San Jose, California.
Oh, cool.
And it's pretty good. It's not my favorite pumpkin ale, but it's not bad. Not bad.
Now, Josh, have you tried bourbon shots with butterscotch schnapps.
Ooh.
Is that the one
it?
that?
Ooh.
I
That might
It's
wondered.
supposed to taste like pancakes, right?
Yes, they call
Oh
it
my
a
God.
breakfast shot, and then you chase it with
Right,
orange juice
Yes,
That sounds
that's right.
amazing.
We
because
were
it
just
tastes like
talking-
syrup. Yeah.
Yeah, some girl or this couple was in the bar like on a Sunday. We were like drinking mimosas, and they're like, "We want a breakfast shot." I was like, "Sunday at 11 a.m."
Yes, baby.
Oh,
Jameson, butterscotch schnapps, and a chaser of orange juice.
Damn, I'm gonna try that.
It's hardcore.
I like butterscotch too.
I do too.
Now I like the butter. Was it butterscotch schnapps and is it Bailey's? What does that what makes the buttery nipple? Those are good.
Yeah.
Buttery nipples.
That's gross.
They're almost like those Werther's Originals, just like melted down.
I love those.
Those are good. Those I
like
love.
those
I love
guys.
me some old people candy. You know.
Me too. And I used to.
So you got bourbon. Mary's got the pumpkin ale. What do you have, Sarah?
Okay, well, I usually either drink my water beer, not craft, or my wine.
Hey,
But tonight,
I can dig a Mick Ultra occasionally.
I love Mick.
If it's the only thing on tap,
Actually,
yep.
we go and buy those tonight on purpose. But I decided since it's our first live Jaeger bomb.
Oh shit!
She's going hardcore.
Fuck yeah!
Fuck! I just felt the inside of my stomach go.
It's not a mini bomb. It's a Jaeger bomb. It has extra Red Bull. You're welcome, Scott. Because he's like, oh my god, you're gonna drink too much. But
I
not.
also have one of these bad boys on the side, so we'll see where the night takes
Let's
us.
both hold them up at the same time. Woo.
There you go.
Melanie, do you have one?
One what?
J.R. Ewing bottle.
I don't.
Would you like one of my empties? I have about 10, just for a
Mary
souvenir.
sent me one
Sure.
After Dad.
All right.
I got that.
Sarah, do you have one?
Yeah, Mary sent it to me a long time ago.
I can't find
Okay.
them anymore. I used to be able to find it, and now that they've cut production, I can't find them at all. I
I
look
periodic-
every time I go somewhere new.
Josh, didn't you say there's like one place has it still and that's it?
Did I have them on eBay?
Yeah, and then I went into a random liquor store, and they had 2 bottles just before Christmas, so I grabbed them.
Was it in Maine?
No, it was in Massachusetts, some small
know.
town.
I said Maine.
Hey, and you know what? In your defense, Maine was part of Massachusetts before the Missouri Compromise. It's all good.
That means nothing to me because I have no history. I mean, I like wars and stuff, but like all that, I don't even know like colonial people or.
So we got a doozy of an episode tonight.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah.
We have a thing to do, right? Instead of talking about alcohol.
You don't want to talk about my orange beer?
so-
Okay.
Oh, did we not talk about your orange beer? Okay, let's do. What's your orange
Chug
beer?
by the end of the episode.
Okay.
Challenge accepted. All right.
What are you drinking, Mel?
Untitled
What's the
Art
challenge?
Carrot Cake a la Mode.
Is it orange?
It is orange.
Yeah, it looks orange.
How did they make that beer orange?
Carrot juice.
I want to ask questions.
Has anybody out in
You
Facebook
don't want
land heard of
answers to.
this? Has anybody
Beta
heard of this
carotene.
carrot cake beer thing? Please comment.
Untitled Art out of Wisconsin. They're one of my favorite breweries. I freaking love them. Their beer is delicious.
Nice.
Yum.
You said Wisconsin?
Wisconsin, party state.
Yeah, it is what
If anyone
Wanaki?
out there is drinking,
Carrot cake beer. That is something so redneck. I go carrot cake beer.
if anyone out there is drinking, post what you're drinking in the comments.
Yes,
Yeah, tell us what
please.
you're drinking in the comments. That's a good idea. So we want to know.
And I'm sure this episode, I didn't write them all down because I know I missed some of it because I was watching it at work. Oops. There's going to be a lot of drinking in this episode, I believe. There was a few things I remember thinking I've got to
Yeah.
write that. I didn't, so hopefully I'll remember. As
Oh
we
yeah,
talk.
there's a lot of like you gotta drink. So make sure you guys have this is proper drinking game.
And
Time.
we're not promoting alcoholism, so you can have a glass of water.
Melanie, Chris asks in the group, how do you find all these crazy beers that you drink all the time?
Ha!
She loves beer.
I love beer. Well, yeah, actually, see, hang on. I like crafts.
Oh, I thought they said I like cake when you said that. I was like,
Okay, I've had 3 different answers so far. She thought it said I like crime. He thought it said I feel like crap. And you-
I want to shirt that says I
I
like
think that says
crime.
more about us as people than Melanie, honestly.
No, seriously, I'm like, cake. That's really making it serious. I swear to God, it is.
to answer the question posed by Chris, was it Chris? Local craft beer bottle shops. Honestly, there's a couple around here. One day I just Googled craft beer and there they were. So,
Yeah.
and I
So
visit.
if you go into any regional craft beer shop, they'll
like little
probably have their own
independent
unique,
places. Yeah,
It
I like
depends.
the places where you can build your own 6-pack.
Yes.
And you can try lots of stuff.
Yes. And honestly, it just
Those are the
depends
best.
on state laws and how far their distribution can stretch. And I mean, this isn't really supposed to be a thing, but people will ship stuff in the mail very carefully. So,
I can't say anything online.
Right.
But
for legal purposes, no,
might
you
have happened.
absolutely cannot.
You should never send it in the mail.
Never,
No,
ever.
don't try this at home.
No.
Don't try this at home. No,
But what
no,
is
no,
worse, she's
no.
But if
really
you do, pack boxes of like mac and cheese and things that are loud inside, so you can't hear the little.
I used to wrap
Not
them.
that I would know.
I used
And
to
then
wrap
someone-
things in my winter coat. Because I would fly to Maine with my like winter coat and stuff
That's
wrapped
my
up in
idea.
my luggage. And then, I don't have to have it coming back. So I wrapped my winter coat like around the beer and stuff, put it in a box, and my dad shipped it home to me.
That's kind of how I do my gummies.
If anyone from TSA or anything is watching, no.
Not TSA, UPS.
Okay, let's get started.
Oh, yeah. This
It's
is
funny.
how we go.
The title Ewing-Gate. Ewing-Gate, I've always had, I now realized it was like a take on Watergate, but growing
Yeah.
up, I
Right.
always thought it meant like closing the gates of Southfork and throwing Sue Ellen
Wanna
out.
get that, baby?
That was
I
my
love-
other meaning.
Like when we were little kids, and this like the meaning we attached to things because we didn't know any better, which is like
Yeah.
I think the best being like young.
It's like when you
Dallas
change
kids.
the words to songs. Like you don't know what they're
Yeah.
saying, and you sing
Right.
it that way. I still sing songs that are wrong.
I still sing She's Got Electric Boobs. But
Got electric boobs and more too. And I sing Bobby Brown. It's no matter what your friends try to tell you. I say no matter what your French fries and ketchup. I don't know why.
That's amazing.
and I know there's people out there that sing the Jimi Hendrix song, Excuse Me While I Kiss This Guy, instead of I Kiss the Sky.
That was the name of
I like
a
that one
book
better.
of
Yeah.
a book of a shit ton of misheard lyrics. By the way, was called "Excuse Me While I
There's
Kiss
a real
This Guy."
book of that?
There is.
This guy.
My dad has it somewhere. For me, it was AC/DC. I was that song "Dirty Deeds," but it was "Dirty Deeds" and the Dunder Jeep. Whatever a Dunder Jeep is, it's done dirt cheap.
Whatever I done. Mine was the Beastie Boys.
Yes.
For Fight for Your Right to Party, and she said, "Throw away your best," and we'd sing "Pornomeg," and we're like, "I don't know what a pornomeg is," and I was because I was in the fifth grade. And then
I was like, I know.
10
I
years
know
later, I'm singing along. I'm like, "Oh God damn it!"
Did anyone see the video that
Pornomeg.
Courtney Cox released on her Instagram? She was with Elton John at a party, and they recorded this for Lisa Kudrow of all of them singing "Hold Me Closer," Tony Danza.
I really didn't think it was that.
I always thought it was Count the Headlights on the highway. Like,
I
how
know
do they get
that.
headlights? But
I have a really quick, before we get started, I have a quick question. So
Okay.
I know sometimes, I think Mary might do them. I know Josh, you like to do like the little polls, and I can do one on Twitter too. But I would like to do a poll on if we had fans come out and meet us at Southfork for that. We need to pick like 3 months that are best for us and say what month will we have the most people be able to come.
Pool party. Holy shit. Yeah, we should do that. Oh my God.
No.
of course, I need to give work at least a 2-week notice. I try to
No,
give
I'm
them
saying, like,
as much
August.
in
Like,
advance
let's
as
pick-
possible.
pick August.
We're
Like,
not going
August is still
tomorrow.
hot.
Right.
I mean, if they were going to tear it down tomorrow, fuck yeah, I'd be on a plane tonight. But I'm just saying.
Nobody has 100% said that they're going to tear it down, but we are.
You know
fighting-
what? That's what your
fighting
parents
the
tell
fight.
you maybe. No. That's like when your parents tell you maybe. It really means that means we're not doing anything right now. So guess what? In about a month, they're going to announce it. Guarantee it. That's like when your parents tell you maybe. Remember that. Sarah spoke. And I'm drinking Jägerbomb.
By the way, this is why this show is edited down because it's 20 minutes. We haven't started the episode yet.
Yeah, y'all have no idea how long
I cut so much
started.
out because we just
Poor
rambled.
Mary.
Okay.
They're an hour ahead of me. I'm done with
Tonight.
Let's go.
Come on.
Tonight, we
right.
are talking about Season 4, Episode 23, Episode 77 of the series, Ewing-Gate.
What do you want?
More.
Get the hell out of Dallas while you still can.
It's not over yet, JR.
Why are you so determined to get JR?
Ewing Oil will be stripped of its state charter, and the satisfaction of JR is knowing I helped put him away.
Oh, I'm gonna get him, JR. One way or another.
I'll kill you first.
Well, you're gonna have to because I'm gonna get him!
You're never gonna get him.
You make me sick.
Keep out of my way, Pamela, or I'll destroy you. I'll destroy anybody that tries to take my boy away from me.
Which is season 4 finale.
Dun dun dun.
It was written and directed, a twofer, by Leonard Katzman, and aired May 1st, 1981.
And we had co-star Bill Boye, played Sergeant McDonald on Adam 12. This episode was number 1 in the weekly ratings with a 32.9 rating and a 56 share. This outperformed the season 2 cliffhanger in which JR got shot.
Wow.
Making it the highest rated Dallas cliffhanger ever.
This one?
Yes. Cliffhanger, not reveal. Not reveal after, but season ender.
I can think of a couple more that I would rather be. Sorry.
Steve Canale was glad to be doing the Lubbock storyline, got to work with Morgan Woodward. One of Leonard Katzman's favorite scenes was JR finally going to bed with Leslie and going, well, that wasn't worth the wait.
Was a pretty good scene.
They didn't have any
Fred
chemistry.
W. Berger. Berger. He was nominated for an Emmy Award for Outstanding Achievement in Film Editing for this episode. No more notes.
That's it? All right.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So we
Well, I
open.
put on makeup, so let's do this.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so did I.
Open with JR.
I love the galloping
police.
horses in the opening scene. Just the establishing shot.
By the
Yeah,
way,
the
holy
establishing
fuck.
I was like, that's
Ominous music. And this isn't like the boxed studio cut in ominous music from earlier in the season. This is like there's a fucking problem music. Yeah.
The shit's getting serious now, music.
right. Now I got your and it's
Like we got the budget back for the orchestra music.
Exactly.
When we cut to the cops, I'm sitting there going, before anything was said, I'm going, did I miss a scene in here? Did I miss something that necessitated these cops? Because it was just like there were cops
It's
right
like
there
out of
already.
nowhere, and then we just forget about it.
On the Southfork soundstage, by the way.
Obviously, the soundstage. Yeah. There's a lot of like obvious.
I wrote
it's a
down-
set. Yeah.
Security!
Because the backdrop is peeling in the background. No, just so yeah, the security is there, and then
The phone rings. Bring.
it's Miss Ellie shouting from Paris again.
Yeah. JR! Hi, it's Mama!
as I said, do they not think they can hear on the telephone when they were out of
No,
the
there's
state?
that long
Wait.
distance.
I remember talking to my
She's
dad.
got to be loud enough to be heard across the ocean.
I remember talking to my dad when he was in the Gulf, and it sounded like he was far away, like on a tin can underwater. Like that's what I remember about international
He
calls.
was like on a base though.
Yeah,
she's in a fucking $1 million hotel.
Yeah.
My father used to take his phone
But
when he had a
still,
cell phone,
international
and he would
calls
bring
in
it to
the
his
80s.
mouth to talk, and then put it back to his ear. He would go like this when he was talking,
Like a
because he
can.
thought you had to bring it down to your mouth and then put it up to your ear. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Anyway, Ellie has seen shit in the paper in Paris.
That's what I say. That happens
I
the
understand.
entire show though. There's
It's
always
an
a headline
English
of
paper in France with an article about what's happening with
if-
independent oil in
But if it's like,
And a
if it's
nice
like
picture of JR.
Okay. But if it's like the Wall Street Journal, like France edition, Ewing Oil might make international news.
I
Economics.
mean, I guess I'm assuming so. Yeah.
yeah, but it's just so
Well,
it happens all the time.
it's an article about a counter revolution of another country. So this could be
Okay,
world
I mean,
news.
all right, that's
right.
Fair.
We'll
That's
give it
fair.
a pass. We'll give it a pass.
You're financing a counter revolution and take over. I mean, come on.
Okay, but it hasn't really.
The
This isn't even a
scandal.
court trial. This is them trying to decide if something actually did happen. So I'm going to let it go. But also, Miss Ellie says that she's going to try to prevent Jock from seeing it, which I think is going to be hard because Jock's like, I'm going to read a newspaper in the morning kind of guy. Is she going to just like cut out
That's
the
what I was
article
thinking.
of every paper so there's a hole in the paper?
I think there was an I Love Lucy episode like that.
I do. I see him going to get his coffee, grabbing a paper, and he's the one
There's
that
like
reads
a hole
on
in
the
it.
shit.
Just give him the.
Right.
He reads it on the shitter.
Yeah,
That's what I'm doing.
There's nothing going on.
Just give him the sports page. That's all he needs while he's on vacation.
The
Oh
sports
my
race
God.
in France.
And
It's
and
the
do the
football.
and do the crossword in French.
Yeah.
JR says that Cliff is just stirring up trouble, and Bobby wouldn't even lift a finger to help his own brother. Can you imagine
oh my
that?
God.
He's like 10 and telling on Bobby. He's just telling on his little brother. Like, Bobby's not helping me clean my room. God.
Mommy.
Bobby punched me.
Mom.
You don't
Mom.
fuss.
Mom.
He's
Mom.
the worst until he needs something. And then he's like, oh, the Ewing boys together again. And they're like, fuck you, man. Like,
But those are my favorite scenes, though, when they're actually like being brothers and like a united front.
they are, because it's like they're united and they're like, don't mess with us. But at the same time, it's like it's weird. Like Bobby and even Ray, like no questions asked. They unite, but it's always
It's blood, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Blood.
it is. But
We
it's
battle
always
amongst
like really
ourselves, but we come
JR
together against the outsiders.
Yeah.
JR, we wouldn't have to come together if you weren't screwing around.
Right?
constantly.
If you weren't always causing trouble.
Yep.
Okay, so let's start. Ready? I mean,
An hour later.
Start on.
What?
I mean, like, next.
Let's-
Okay.
So then we go to Sue Ellen, Dusty, and Clayton.
Yeah,
And-
they're all sitting together. It's good to see Clayton again. I just want to say.
Dusty's wearing his little, what is that, scarf thing there?
Yeah,
A
it's
little-
a sexy
Hashtag.
scarf. His-
Hashtag.
Ascot.
Hashtag. I love Clayton, and I will always.
I love Clayton too. Like I
He's
know
like my favorite. Not favorite.
What
I've
does
been
the kid
seeing
say?
people in some of the groups who don't like Clayton, and I don't get it.
Because he always talks like this.
It's kind of sexy.
He's like
Damn.
You'll notice later he's like Schwellen. He says Schwellen instead of Swellen.
We
Oh, yeah,
stand
Swellen.
Clayton Farlow.
Yes.
Wait till later in the episode when we hear Mr. Ewing.
Right.
So,
He does enunciate a lot, but I mean, he's a singer, so I guess that's what you do. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's true.
anybody like theater and singer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So is Dusty still impotent?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you can't get him yet.
Just checking.
Yeah, he's still
There-
flapping in the wind.
Oh, he's just no
Sorry.
shoulders. No shoulders.
So yeah, so they're trying to. So Sue Ellen's basically like, I want to be with you, but we have to figure out a way to get John Ross out of there without JR losing his shit and figuring
Right.
it out, because he's never going to let me actually take him.
And
I
Clayton
really
brings
like
up the
Clayton.
point. Do you think JR is behind the counter revolution? Because if he is,
She's
there's no
like-
way that a court will give that
She's
child
like,
back to him.
I'd stake my life on it. She's like, he was definitely involved.
Because she knows what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she knows what's up.
And yes, Dusty's ascot is like an homage to Fred and Scooby-Doo. Yes, okay. just pulling from the comments here.
Clayton is showing full chest hair,
Oh yeah, because Clayton likes to show the chest hair. It's a thing.
man hair. Yeah.
Yeah, but Clayton is also like, he's not scared.
80s.
He
I
doesn't
love
give a
hearing
fuck. And he's just like, you know what? Bring it. You know, let him try. He's
Right.
like, we got money, we got power.
He's like, we have
got
the money to fight him.
And the
Right.
resources,
Yeah. Like,
I love the word
so-
resources.
Yeah. It's true.
Like, I feel
I
like
don't think
JR
Clayton
has
is-
quite possibly met his match in, not business necessarily, but like personal endeavors that could take him down.
Street smart.
And he doesn't know it yet.
Business.
I think that Clayton is one of the only people that on this
yeah.
show that I never really showed fear. I've seen anger from Clayton to JR in a lot of episodes, but I don't think I've ever really seen like fear, like he's going to
Right.
destroy me.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well,
And
this
I
is
love him.
Clayton has
yeah,
Jock
this is
Hawk.
only early in his run, so we don't know where his character is going to go in future episodes. So, but
Yeah, like, even from this scene right here, it's obvious. Like,
so-
Clayton does not give a fuck. He's like, bring it. Let him try. Like,
No, he's not intimidated by JR
it's
at
like,
all.
let him try. Whatever.
Yeah.
So JR will be down in Austin trying to bribe somebody, no doubt. So Sue Ellen thinks that's her chance to get John Ross out of there. Well, Southfork, that is. Well, JR is not there
Right.
because John Ross will be exposed flapping in the wind.
Yeah.
So sorry. What? So then we cut to JR schmoozing with senators in Austin.
Harbin.
Of course he is.
Senator Harbin.
Senator Harbin, who is the chairman of the committee.
Who's played by Dave Healy, who actually turns up later in the series in another role.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, what is it?
I'm not going to spoil it.
Oh. Well,
We
he
don't
looks
have
like
the
a
we
sleazeball.
can't beep it, yeah.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep. Sorry.
So basically JR's calling in his markers on this stuff, and he's being pretty blatant with that.
Yeah, he's not beating around the bush. George or Barbara.
Right. But Harbin is not playing. He's like, literally, there's nothing I can do. Like, this is getting, like, the feds involved, and I'm not fucking around with that.
Because apparently some people from the Department of Justice are going to be there, and if they decide there's enough evidence to hold JR over, he's going to be hauled into custody.
Yep.
Then and there.
Yeah.
Did anybody really know what's going to happen?
Oh,
And
deciding
Harbin does
there's
not
enough.
want to be caught up in the middle of giving JR evidence, and he's
Right.
not.
He doesn't want to get involved in that. He doesn't want to go to jail or prison.
No,
you
no
know?
dirty hands on that senator.
Club
Yeah,
fed.
Right.
Oh, she's singing like an angel.
JR leaves the office, and there's a guy waiting outside to serve him with a summons. How did he know JR was there?
I mean, JR's not subtle, and everyone seems to know who he is. So
And
I'm
he's a bit.
guessing they had to serve it, and then somebody saw him walk in. They're like, "Oh shit, he's here! Just walk upstairs, Bob." And Bob walked upstairs and waited for him.
Well, it's not exactly a secret that he went to Austin. He's got a big mouth secretary too.
Right.
She's a dumbass.
I'm sorry, administrative assistant.
Y'all, what a
And
dumbass.
JR is not that. For someone that claims to be so brilliant, he is not that smart when it comes to, I'm going to go over to the payphone in the right outside the Senate office and call my assistant and say, get Claude Brown out of the country.
Right? Like, have a little more tact, JR. Jesus.
No shit. And let me tell you this. What is her name? Luella?
Luella. Yeah.
Fucking dumbass, first of all.
She is dumb,
Second
yeah.
of all, it's like whenever, I've worked the same job for 22 years. I'm not a secretary, but at one time I was pretty low on the totem pole. At one time. It's fucking common sense. It's like whenever somebody calls you, you don't say, well, he's in the shitter. You say, he's on the other line. Can I get him to call you back? It's just fucking common sense.
Yeah, you don't give away their business.
You don't say they're out of the country.
Right.
They're on, my boss like, you're not on vacation. I'm on a business trip. Like, you just,
If you saw Christmas Vacation, that's what ticked off Audrey, because she didn't want the grandparents answering the phone because the grandparents would tell her boyfriend that she was in the bathroom, going to the bathroom.
Alexander. I
Like
know.
me, I-
Alexander, yes.
like me, I don't care. You can say I'm taking a dump. I don't care. But in a normal office setting, you just know it's
But
kind
at work, you're
Actually,
sending a fax. You're not.
Even at home
Taking a
too,
dump.
it's like, I'm sorry, he's busy. What's going on? Can I take a message?
not me.
Back-
My poor kids would be like, "Shit in the bathroom."
Back when we had a landline.
Let me bring in Brian Gilbert's question here, though.
A landline.
Yeah,
Do we think that Jock and Clayton would have gotten along?
Oh,
I saw that on here.
most definitely. I
he
think
would have
I
fallen
do.
in with Pat Powers, and
Pat Powers!
Papa Anderson and
Bo Kinney?
the boys. Yeah, he would have been one of them.
the boys.
I mean, and wasn't it established?
Totally.
Okay, I'm going to say spoiler. Doesn't Clayton eventually seem to? Okay, I'm not going to try to. I'm going to try not to give anything away, but it seems like the older folks, like Rebecca and Clayton, they all kind of had dealings with each other in the past, so nobody's a total stranger.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And they don't
Like, if
and
they
I don't
didn't
think
know
all
each
hate-
other directly, they knew of each other. Like Clayton said in this episode, he's like, I know of him.
I'm sure Dallas was a smaller town back then, you know? I'm sure. And just Fort Worth,
And they're
San Angelo. I don't
And
know.
if they're men in the oil industry in Texas, I mean, how big is that crowd, really?
Right. Yeah.
You're going to cross paths. You're going to cross
sure.
paths.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jock and Clayton might not have seen eye to eye on some of the ways that Jock may have dealt with JR from time to time, and just because Jock had that whole thing about Leslie Stewart, and I don't think Clayton would have.
Well, Clayton Clayton's a little more progressive, I think,
Right.
than Jock.
So
Jock was just like old school, like.
So while they would have gotten along,
Shit,
there might have
and-
been some abrasiveness at
But
points.
then again, would Clayton have like fought that if they were like they were out drinking bourbon at the Cattlemen's Club and Jock made some comment about Leslie Stewart? I don't think Clayton would have stood up for Leslie Stewart. Like, I think he on his own wouldn't have said that kind of shit. But I also don't think he would have been like, maybe that's a little problematic. I don't. As much as I love Clayton, I don't think he would have gone that far.
Could you imagine Jock and Clayton kicking JR's ass around?
I would have loved to see that.
Yes. I don't know. I feel like Clayton would have been just kind of like, I don't think he would have said anything, just probably knowing what I know and trying not to give anything away.
Right. Well, Chris is saying that he thinks that
Clayton's more polished version of Jock.
he's a more polished version of Jock, and I think that's.
I think he
true.
just,
I think that's
unfortunately, Clayton does what I do when I hear things that I don't agree with and I think are hella problematic, but I don't want to cause a scene. I'm just like, and then change the subject or walk away, you know?
Right.
Sometimes it's just what you have to do.
This has a long comment here. I'm trying to
De-escalate.
see here. Because of the whole game in the early days, they have all either been in business, as Jock would say, dealt with each other, very good point, or even been around in similar circles, even if they didn't deal with each other. This is true, very true. So they probably would have known each other, even if in passing.
Did you get more burp? Another Jaeger bomb? She's going to be wasted.
Now, wait, Sarah, before you get comfortable, can you show everybody your shirt, advertise our merchandise?
Okay, well, full disclosure, I didn't put on a bra tonight.
That's all right.
Boobies.
Nice.
Is it backwards?
Is that on Teespring, you say?
Yes.
Yes, and that it will be in our show notes when this is on the thing.
And I'm going to order a coffee cup.
I have the tumbler that I use with our old logo, and it's my favorite tumbler.
A margarita shaker.
It keeps my coffee warm forever.
I took a sticker and put it over an offensive logo on a coffee mug and made a Ewing barbecue coffee mug.
I wonder if we can put it on a danger noodle.
You're not touching my danger noodle. Okay.
I mean,
So Pam
wouldn't stay.
Pam
but-
goes into her office and Jackie's at Pam's desk.
Oh yeah, yes.
She seems to be moving into Pam's office lately.
Yeah, she's
I
around a
think
lot.
you're trying to pull her up on the show a little bit. Coming up.
Yeah, they're giving her more airtime.
Well, her
Jackie's
father
favorite.
did write and direct this episode, so.
Right, exactly. They're like as much Jackie as humanly
Sherilyn
possible.
Katzman.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I
Yes.
forgot that was her maiden name.
Love Jackie.
Yes.
Who's your question?
I keep forgetting
Who's your
that,
favorite
too.
Secretary of all time. I know who the answer is going to be, but because I have two.
What's that?
Honestly,
Who's your favorite secretary of all time?
may she rest in peace. I love Jackie, but I mean, yeah, Sherilyn Rotino, but I love Sly.
Me
We
too.
haven't met Sly
That's-
yet. Shit, sorry.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler.
Okay, and,
Well, so it
Chris-
doesn't matter because nobody knows who she is.
I'm sorry.
so-
Okay, Debbie Renard for the
What?
win. Woo.
And I do,
Mary, take
and
notice.
I do have a fondness for Deborah Trinelli because
Yes.
we do talk regularly, and
The devs
and Deborah Renard has been on. Did you see her on Law and Order?
Mm-mm.
Did you see
Just
Deb on Law and Order?
Hang on a
She's
second. Which
recently, yes.
episode has it aired yet?
Within the last couple of weeks, supposedly she posted a thing on her page, and I shared it.
I need to go back and watch it because, quite honestly, and I'm going to disclose this now, as much as of a Law and Order fan as I am, it's really only been for SVU and organized crime. The reboot of regular Law and Order, I'm kind of like using as my background noise to get ready for SVU. I'm sorry. But I will go back and watch the episode she's in just because she's in it.
Yes, and she started to pick up a few more.
Isis knows what I'm talking
acting
about. I
gigs. She's
can't
trying
do
to-
it without Elliot and Olivia. I'm sorry. Jeez.
She is back. She is getting back in front of the camera again after a long time away from being in front of the camera, and she's still
Good
doing
to
her
know.
singing gig.
Good to know.
But
And I
back
didn't know
to
she
Jackie
sang.
at the desk.
Yeah. Pam is overwhelmed.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
She turns down Jackie's offer to hold down the fort while she goes down to Austin to be with Bobby.
Circle in the drain.
she just thinks that she would get in the way. There's a lot going on. Blah blah blah. Yeah, blah blah. Yeah.
Man. And then we cut to Sue Ellen, where she calls Ewing oil to.
This is interesting because Phyllis answers. Phyllis has never spoken to Sue Ellen before because this is their first time speaking.
But
that makes sense.
On screen,
And
but
yet-
she knows who she is.
She's
Right.
Miss
And
Ewing.
I'm sure she's gone
Obviously.
into the office a bunch of times and seen
Okay.
her. Yeah, she knows who
But-
she is.
But being the first time on screen, I found it a little interesting because she's talking. She never identified herself. And then at some point, Phyllis refers to her as Mrs. Ewing. And I'm going, okay, you've never met the woman. You might not have even spoken to the woman.
She would have spoken to her. I mean, she's been working there for years at this point.
Off screen.
Not really.
At least a year. At least a year. Sue Ellen definitely goes. She's probably a lot off screen, gone in, called a bunch of times that we haven't seen.
Off-screen, yeah.
She has a familiarity with her. She would have.
She only came in about 7 or 8 episodes ago, really.
Well, when did Connie leave?
The Making of a President.
Okay.
Connie just disappeared.
Maybe she's a quick learner and she just knows.
I bet she is.
That just stood out to me. I was just going, they haven't.
Okay, so
spoken to
that
each
was
other,
in
but-
January and this is May.
There's a lot of
So,
off-screen stuff that is
a
left
few
up to
months.
interpretation. So
There's a lot of off-screen stuff, right?
within that
Like going
5-month
to the
period,
like going to the bathroom.
within that 5-month period, you
Right.
have to assume that Sue Ellen, even though she and JR are fighting like they always do, she's had to have gone into the office a few times for God knows what. So Phyllis has to know who she is, especially if she can just recognize her voice.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, if
sure.
there's a socialite on the phone that you can tell has freaking gone to finishing school, asking if JR is there, and like, it's his wife. Come on.
And then she just gives them all the tea, like Luella was subpoenaed and blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, we didn't mention that Luella was subpoenaed earlier.
Oh yeah, they all got served. All of them.
Y'all got served.
I need another beer.
Well, John Ross is ripe for the plucking that night and taking off the ranch.
Yep. Okay, so then Leslie goes to see Jeremy.
Slut. Sorry. Ooh, that came out right.
I think she does know. She knows where the wind is blowing, and Jeremy said, as soon as I saw those headlines today, I thought I might be hearing from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She has evidence.
Yep. She says she's admitting it. She's like, I'm looking for higher ground. And she has the evidence to prove that JR is involved in the counter-revolution, and she'll present it to the subcommittee at the right price.
Right. And she wants she'll have a contract drawn up for a position at West Star. And if Jeremy likes what he sees that night at her apartment,
oh
they
God!
can
And
sign.
she says she has many valuable and specialized services to offer.
Do you think this is like all like an innuendo conversation?
It's all innuendo, yeah.
It is. It's like, hey,
it totally
you wanna come
is.
see my portfolio? Yes, I want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a little, yeah, right. She's just, Leslie's just, I feel like she's feeling him out. Like, is he interested in me just for business, or is he interested in me for sex? I'm trying to figure it out.
She's playing both sides of the fence.
Oh,
And
she's totally is. Yeah.
Like you said, which way is the wind blowing? She's trying to figure out who's going to give her the most gratification, the most ongoing success. She doesn't care about anybody but herself.
Yep.
and Leslie, don't call me Shirley. She said, Shirley, all I could think was, Leslie, don't call me Shirley.
And how many times can she say, I don't talk about other clients?
And I just gotta say,
But
JR's reputation, like, I don't know why he has the reputation he has, because it really seems like he just can't satisfy a woman. Like, they just don't care afterwards. They're like, oh, I need to get into bed with you. And then they're like,
No,
They're like, ooh, let down.
yeah.
no, because I don't think that's not his.
Like,
and he
right.
doesn't give a shit.
You're selfish.
Yeah.
it's like waiting for that
JR is
great.
not a
It's like
giver.
waiting for that great fireworks display, and then all of a sudden just goes.
Now,
His
I
danger
think
noodle is all about him.
I think if there's like mutual like chemistry and passion there, it's different. But if it's just like trying to
Right.
go for it because of the thrill of the chase, it's kind of like,
business. Right.
yeah, it's like, okay, that was
He doesn't give a
disappointing.
shit. No.
No.
Right.
Leslie did play every side that would benefit Leslie, of course.
Right. I feel like she's very much I think she's on par with JR in the game she's playing.
JR is not the giving lover type. No.
At least this far
I
in the
just said no. He
series.
does.
This is his most equal match with someone, I think, thus far.
She's just as
Thus far.
Thus far. Yeah.
she's not diabolical,
Couple of
but
people.
she's calculating like he is.
She's not diabolical. She's very calculating. She knows what she's doing. She's not getting emotionally involved at all.
Exactly, which is weird. But I will say,
She can compartmentalize at a girl.
I think this is his beginning lesson of where he starts
Yeah.
to figure out that he can get played. Now he'll win in the end.
Right.
But I think this is where he figures out he's going to always be like double crossed. By the time this ladies,
He can always get double crossed. He just never sees it coming.
because he thinks with his penis.
Yeah, because he overestimates himself too a lot. That's kind of his downfall. Is he overplays his hand.
Danger with the danger noodle.
Nope, nope.
Very, very importantly, Jeremy wants the
Hydration.
satisfaction of knowing that he put JR away and tied him to that kind of
Everybody
revolution.
does.
Right.
Everybody does.
He says if JR goes to prison, Ewing Oil will be stripped of its charter. The biggest oil company in the Southwest will cease to exist, which is
Does that
less
count?
competition
But-
for Westar.
Who happens to be one of the 8 largest independents in the world.
In the world, obviously. Drink.
That's what makes him go.
That turns
There,
him on,
discount
and it makes
that.
him like twirl his methodical mustache, and
Look.
it's like it's a little gross to even think about Jeremy Wendell being turned on. Bleh. No,
I see him in a white
turns him
van,
on.
Turned on under a dominatrix boot. I'm telling you that's
We
his
had
shit.
discussion like the last 2 episodes.
Jeremy and Patricia Shepard.
I think
Maybe.
he wants a high heel right here.
Right there.
No, ma'am.
step on my throat, step on my throat, please.
Perhaps Jeremy would have done
On your
well with
knees,
Brenda
worm.
Strong's character from Twin Peaks, Jonesy.
Maybe.
He might have liked that.
My smoker's
he
cough
would've,
just came out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
sure, that's
scene
what it was.
coming up here, Sue Ellen.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Let's get to Sue Ellen and John Ross and the whole.
Yeah. Okay. So she's getting John Ross dressed
I got
to
the-
leave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So one, she waits the entire day until it's nighttime. Which okay, Sue Ellen, and then she gets him dressed in a little tiny suit. He's a toddler. She's dressed in a suit.
I'm sorry, just grab and go.
But again, she's telling the baby her plans. The walls have ears, Sue Ellen. It's still a
She
bad
always
idea.
does.
John Ross is not going to say anything. However,
But not only that, you said grab and go. Get your go bag.
He's-
Get
he's-
your dash bag. Get
Perhaps
were you not
you don't know.
packing?
You don't know if they've bugged the baby.
Why was she not packing shit and getting ready to
Bug
go?
the baby.
The minute she woke up, the minute JR left for the office, why did she not grab the baby and go first thing? Get him dressed in the car. Like,
No, the minute that she called from the hotel and found out he was in Austin, bye, Dusty, going to get my kid.
It's
You're
not
right,
like
to
she and
grab
Dusty. It's not like she and Dusty are getting it on because he can't. So she has no excuse to not bounce to the ranch, pick him
There's
up.
no excuse. Go
So
get
stupid.
Oh,
I'm honestly
God,
shocked that he didn't go with her. That they let her
she
go to
didn't
South.
want to. Remember, she was saying like she wanted to go alone. It wasn't the time.
Yeah, still,
Even
but
though
you know
they thought
how
he wasn't there.
we found out that he was having her like tailed the whole time?
Yeah.
Did he send somebody to
Mm-hmm.
Southfork behind her to kind of like watch from the road, see what would happen? Like, I would hope he did.
We don't know
We don't know.
because
But JR went to bed there.
But
JR?
you know that fucker got home early.
JR shows up.
But still, he had his henchmen surrounding the entire ranch. You know,
And he gets home early. Of course, we knew that was going to
Of
happen.
course he
because
gets
you're
home
talking to
early.
him for 5,000 hours and putting a suit on your baby.
And talking about how she had called Phyllis at the office, and Phyllis told JR the whole thing.
Right.
I don't know. I'm kind of like peculiar about things like that too. Like that would have been awkward to me that she never calls. She hates me. And then she just happened to say, "Oh, Sue Ellen called. What did she call for?" And then she probably told him all that, and he was like,
Right.
"I'm getting on the plane. Like I'm getting back."
Right.
Because he's already non-trusting. Like I'm that kind of person where I'm like, It's like that Dateline comes out in me. Like I want to like find out.
You're
what's going
Keith Morrison.
He's
you gotta understand.
Dateline
You got to
reporting.
understand, this is not just like a wife just calling to check in on her husband. This is Sue Ellen Ewing asking
True.
about
Wife
JR.
Right.
And like things are,
Right.
when things are good, they're good. When they're bad, fuck.
so So JR shows up, has Sue Ellen thrown off the ranch, and right in front of a cop, he says he'll kill her.
Yeah, because he doesn't give a fuck because the cops were for him.
Oh, it was I can hear it now.
Matter.
It was.
Doesn't matter.
He said it in a moment of emotional distress, and because conservative white man, they believe him. Oh, did I say that?
Right.
It sounded
yeah.
so
Nail on the
political
head.
there, Melanie.
Then Pam is on the stairs. She hears the whole
That's what
thing
pisses
and
me off about
says
JR,
that the
and then I'm
child
like-
belongs to the mother.
Yes, Pam.
And JR says Sue Ellen is just like Pamela's mother. Excuse me for saying this if it offends anybody. But a drunken slut that ran away. Those
Right.
are JR's words.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
he's a dick.
she gave
He's
it
a
right
dick.
back
Sound
to
the
him.
bell, the bell, the bell, the
Oh
bell,
my
the bell, the
God.
bell.
Yeah.
Ding,
She
ding,
calls
ding,
him
ding,
a
ding.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Slime. And by the way,
wait.
Mary,
She calls him a
what's the bell
slime,
for?
which...
fuck you, JR.
Fuck you, JR.
Fuck you, JR. I want to learn how to say that in another language.
Punk and Ray are there, and Punk is wearing that emerald, was it a bolo or whatever it is? That
Is it like a bow tie,
wait,
but not really? Like a loose bow tie? That's a bolo tie.
That's fucking stupid.
and
I gotta
it's
look
got this, the bolo tie, and
Is that what it's called? A bolo tie?
A bolo
Yeah.
tie is when it's just like two
Oh,
cords
is
and
that
a thing.
thing?
that
Yeah,
goes
it's like
but
a,
he has the jewel. He has the
He's an Indian outlaw. Have Cherokee
Yeah.
and Choctaw.
he has that emerald thing or turquoise thing right over it. So it's and Ray's in his suit, and that waitress in the background is wearing a very short skirt. So, and when she comes over to the table, the old guy at the table behind, I don't know if you know, he's kind of like upskirting her and looking up
I'm
her.
pulling.
Oh, I did
Yes.
not. I didn't notice that. Oh,
I'm letting it go in the background as we're talking, and I see her like crack. Like it's that short.
I did not notice this.
They don't either, but now because the guy on the show noticed it.
Right.
Yeah, the old guy at the table who probably hasn't. Who
well,
probably
this guy
keeps
on the
his
show
popsicle in the
noticed it
freezer.
too.
Josh, the old pervert, he saw the crack in the background.
Josh saw the crack.
But
That's okay, Josh. I know all kinds of stuff. You know that. I'm a pervert.
there's a crack problem going on here. Yes.
They were live.
But
Cracks a neck epidemic. There she goes again. Oh, her top's low too.
yes, she is.
Okay, Ray just looked at her too. Thank you very
But
much.
Right.
Punk, Pat, and Bo
Du Bois.
are very pleased with Ray and his involvement, and they want to each give him a point, which is valued at $1 million a point.
$1 million.
3%. So this whole deal was $100 million then, right?
Look, and you can see in his face when they say that he almost shit his pants. He's like,
He did. He's
I
just
don't know why
like,
I
and
come up
he's
with that.
totally trying to play it cool. He's just like, oh yeah, $1 million. This is totally fine. It's totally fine.
Like, yeah, I'll go down to the ATM right now.
You know how I love like the fashion or whatever. First of all, Punk's hair is beautiful, and Ray's eyes match his suit in the scene.
And Punk says those magic words that get to Ray about, oh, Jock would be proud if you were in on this deal. It goes
Exactly.
right for
I
the
think he meant to
jugular.
like trick him into it. I think he was just trying to kind of like give him like a.
Well, yeah, and he was like, "Well, you and Donna have that kind of money, right?" And Ray's like, he doesn't correct him.
the spot. Jesus.
Yeah, Ray.
I'll say something about that.
I was expecting Ray to be like, "Oh no, that's her, not me." But he didn't say shit. He was like,
Wait.
That's
No,
because it's
he
the
didn't.
80s. What's mine is yours. And it's like, I mean, I don't think the same thing now. But if my husband was to go draw $3 million, which we don't have, out of our account, I'd be like, what the fuck did you do?
Right.
Did you buy me a yacht? Okay.
Crack
Because of the way,
kills.
and he has like, it's his
If it's an
pride.
investment, discuss it.
"Well, that's
Yeah.
also
If it's
like
an investment, discuss it.
that is the number one argument I see between my parents who have been married 40 years is that one of them will do something without telling the other first." And it's like, why didn't you call me?
Yeah.
I would have said
And
yes.
it's a partnership.
Yeah, it's like I would have said
It's-
okay, but you didn't do anything. Like you didn't call me, and then you did it anyway. So like you couldn't even give me the courtesy of like a heads up. Like what the fuck?
Waiting 45 minutes or whatever. Because by the time he called her, it was like he called the bank right after.
Right.
So when he calls, okay, granted, first, he did try to call.
Did they give him a deadline of when they
See,
want
I
him to?
didn't hear it. But
I don't think so.
Like they said, right.
So why is he putting his foot on the accelerator here?
Because he's an
And-
idiot.
Because she would have called him back that evening. I just said that evening. Did you hear that? First thing is, number one, Ray did call. Okay.
Yes.
Props. Number two,
Donna was in Virginia with Luann at some social function.
She would have eventually called, probably within a few hours.
Probably.
Which is not a time crunch. And then number two is the fact that we all know Ray is a good guy. Mm-hmm. He's not marrying her for her money. He never did that. He's right. So I don't know why. I think it took her off guard, and you saw how she covers up for him. But then Culver's like, I don't think he did it on purpose. I think he really tried to prove. He was trying to ask her, and he was scared. And he's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to prove myself.
When you think about it,
I think we're just lumping these few scenes together.
I'm sorry. I just kind of like.
That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
Oh, when we get to the Dave Culver scene, okay. Well, yeah, we're not there yet.
Should we just lump them together?
Well, and this is what I'm thinking. Was Dave like he knew where that money came from, and maybe it wasn't originally Donna's either.
It was his dad's.
Like some of it was maybe from what she did.
That's what I thought. But Donna is a good businesswoman. She's invested a lot of that money. They've said stuff on other things, like she's done stuff with that money.
Right.
And actually he left her a lot more than she thought he was going to leave her, because he even knew she was smart.
Yeah.
Right.
She's a good businesswoman. But that's why the son's still friends with her. He doesn't think she's a fucking gold digger. But the fact is,
and that is why she had $3 million in that account for Ray to move.
Exactly.
Because she was smart and she was good with it.
Exactly. But he can tell in her voice that she's not telling the truth when she says, I knew about it. Like, it was very...
She was shocked, and she's really taken aback and disappointed. I think she's disappointed that it happened.
She is, because at this point, all she thinks... Now, but Dave did say, hey, Donna, he did try to call you.
He did, but he didn't wait to talk to her. And the way
it looked, it was only a couple hours in between, right?
It really was only a couple hours, and he didn't. I don't think
Punk's going to take your deal away in 6 hours.
As Brian said, Ray wanted to prove that you can play with the big boys like his daddy. But let's go back to Isis. Isis has very well thought out comments here.
She
does.
The
difference, though, is that at least Clayton looked out for Ray's best interest and tried to pull him into business ventures that would really fit his interests and not what Jock would have wanted.
True.
In the middle of all this, JR goes to an attorney who we never learn the name of. If he says it, he says it real fast.
Because it's not important, yeah.
The attorney says that you need to find a way to get a look at that evidence at whatever cost, which leads JR to do what he's about to do.
Some shady shit.
I throw it seems sus.
And I like the exterior. One more on Dave and Donna. The background shot of the Capitol behind Dave and the exterior of the Washington Monument. It's
like
so fake. It is the fakest thing in the world. Like it's a cardboard cutout. It's just terrible. For a close campaign on a dot matrix printer. Yes, all done in the same thing. It's
colored
terrible.
with magic marker.
Exactly.
And a couple of Sharpies.
Yes.
So we go to Cliff. We go to Cliff's apartment. Oh, Donna leaves to go back to Dallas, but we don't see her again.
Yeah.
I'm very disappointed.
Cliff's apartment. He's there with Afton.
Cliff is so tired. He's there with Afton, and he's just like so tired on the couch. He's just like, I don't know what's up with me.
I've seen this episode a million times, and all I can do is yell, "You got roofied, motherfucker!"
He totally got roofied by Afton.
Afton just Cosby'd him.
He got a Quaalude.
Here's a pudding pop.
Quaaludes. Oh, hey, you guys. Fun fact. If you take ZQuil and then you get random tested by your employer or your doctor at like 8:30 in the morning, ZQuil may show up in the barbiturates category. Just FYI.
What?
Is this something you know?
Recently, yeah, because I took ZQuil and I had a slightly positive pop in barbiturates, and I went, "Are you asking me if I did Quaaludes or something?" And my doctor was like,
"You're like, no, it's not 1980." No,
I was like, what the fuck? She was like, did you take anybody else's painkillers? And I was like, I don't live on the edge like that.
You should have said, what's a Quaalude?
But no, like I was trying to rack my brain. I could not think of anything. And then I got home and I looked at my medicine cabinet and I went, fuck ZQuil. And I was like, would diphenhydramine do that? And she goes, oh God, yes. I was like, okay, then that's what it was.
That's
My
Thanks a lot.
husband,
That's what
my husband failed a drug test in college because he really,
had a poppy
really
seed bagel.
He really loves poppy seed bagels, like it's his shit, and poppy seed muffins. And
Oh
we
my
had
God.
those in the dorms, so he'd just be like munching on them every single day.
So
And
he
then
popped for opioids, right?
Yeah. And he got fired, like very publicly got fired. And and my husband was straight edge, like didn't drink alcohol till his 21st birthday. He's never done drugs. And he was like, that's incorrect. Give me a blood test, give me a hair test. And they're like, no, we don't do those. And he's like, I'm telling
Then I'm
you,
gonna do it and see
it's
your ass.
false.
Yeah.
And he got fired anyway.
I would have gone and paid
gotta
for
love the
it,
poppy.
done it.
I wish he could have gone back and like sued those fuckers for everything they were worth.
Right? It was bullshit.
It's like, because if he had taken,
unfortunately,
if they had tested for like, I don't know, actual opioids or like drugs, I mean, just how long does it take for poppy seeds to get out of his system? I mean, they could have retested him and it would have come up negative. Like,
yeah. Well, I don't know.
It's more than 24 hours.
He would have had to stop eating the poppy seed. But
but even that. poppy
Sylvester
seed,
is saying, is this really a fun fact?
It's like 48 hours.
LOL.
yes.
Well, unfortunately for me, if I ever
The more
get
you know.
tested, it just.
Yes.
The more you know.
I mean,
No,
So
because
with-
it was so random.
yeah, that is random.
It was just random.
I don't get drug tested. We have 2 people in our office.
And with Cliff passed out from the 3 drops of whatever, in come McSween and JR to search the place for evidence.
I was so disappointed in Afton in this moment.
That's what I said. This whole scene disappointed me.
Yep.
You want to
Is that
give her
really
the bell?
happened?
You want to give her the bell?
Yeah. Fuck you, Afton.
Trash, Afton.
Damn
God
it.
damn it.
And I like you later. Spoiler. But
But
I was rooting for you, Afton.
I was.
how quickly JR
You need to sing her French song again and butcher it.
Everybody drink. La fierté.
C'est magnifique.
Mi amor, c'est magnifique.
How quickly JR found that briefcase in Cliff's room.
I know, immediately.
No, I can't find my purse that quick in the morning. And I brought it in the fucking house.
I feel like Cliff doesn't have that much in his house, though. He's kind of a minimalist. So
he has some really ugly cups that are supposed to be fancy for bourbon.
That's true, yeah.
Probably some Chinese cartons in the fridge.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm surprised he doesn't have a cup full of like chopsticks that he just has at the ready for.
So do you think that Cliff just uses the ones that they give him every time that you dispose of, or does he have ones he bought that he just washes?
No, he wouldn't buy them. He would collect, ask for extras.
Yeah, I always get like 2 packs.
And then just wash the ones you're supposed to throw away.
My dad went to China.
Don't you guys keep the plasticware that they give you for like takeout as extras? Because I do.
Someone should have come and stolen Afton away. Steal me away. Stolen Afton away. Very good. Very good. So now we go to the committee hearing.
Right. Yeah.
Mara Lee testifies. Jordan testifies.
The whole cartel, basically.
Claude Brown comes in and testifies.
JR's not happy to see him.
We don't see Luella testify, even though she was subpoenaed.
Right.
Because she's too fucking stupid. They didn't call her out.
Oh, Claude Brown, the one he told to make sure got out of town. Oh, that rhymed. Claude Brown didn't get out of town.
No.
He got caught. I can't rhyme. I was trying really hard. Damn it, I could be a rapper. Shit. Sorry.
So then Leslie comes in, and that's
she
where
looks very,
JR finds out that she no longer works for Ewing Oil and she works for Westar, and JR
Which I
is
just think is ridiculous.
not happy about that.
Nope.
You see his face.
And that she recorded their conversations.
Right. You can see his face. He
was
doesn't
like,
have much of a poker face.
No.
But because this is not a regular courtroom with the rules of admission don't apply here. So they allow the
bullshitter has been bullshitted.
You could tell he's like, yeah. Also, I love Weird Hagman. You know that, but in this scene, not episode, this scene, his hair looks like a total toupee. Total toupee.
Yes, he's
like
wearing a
whole.
face.
It looks like a whole. It looks like a kin wig. Like it looks like it's plastic kin wig.
Who does?
Leonard Hagman, and I love him.
Yeah.
I would touch that hair right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I wish the makeup people are hair would like, but Leslie's like all slicked back. They look very professional.
She's trying to look really like innocent
and her mauve
stuff.
with the
Yeah.
white collar.
Yep. She knows how to dress for court.
I don't like her.
I like Leslie. I know it's unpopular, but I
No,
like
I
her.
do, but I don't like her towards the end. I liked her at first because I was like, she's a badass and she can hold her own to him.
So, Chris, carry on. I don't want to.
Carry on. He said that's right.
Yeah, I have a whole drawer full of plasticware during the pandemic. Yes, you stock up on it like I do. That's awesome.
Here's the thing: like, I stock up, and then I end up just throwing it, or trying to recycle it, and I just feel bad because it's just like, well, I haven't used any of this. And you just have because it's like Taco Bell like fire sauces, and you have like a million of them in your refrigerator and glove compartment, and then you end up throwing them away eventually.
We started putting them in one of those gallon bags, and when we moved the last time, I was like, I'm not keeping these orange. It's like, what are you doing? I was like,
so Sylvester / Brad wants to know if Josh is going to drop in the Claude Brown Knots Landing connection, or did he already do that?
Oh,
I did not. He did appear on an episode of Knots Landing in 1981 as a character named Sal Maggio.
Ominous music.
Dun, 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 dun.
Sarah, we need a French flair to that, please. Cajun.
Just another one of the many actors that have crossed over between the shows.
I'll do a whole.
But it's interesting because obviously Kristin was over in Knots Landing earlier this season, where she went after she shot JR, and now she's back in town.
Spoiler, I'm just kidding. I just like to say it.
I just want to say when Leslie brings out the tapes, the look on Cliff's face. I like the look on Cliff's face is just priceless. He's so happy. Like, I don't think I've ever seen Cliff happier in that moment.
How many times did this happen though? When he's like, I finally
I know,
got
he's like, oh.
It makes you want to love Cliff because you're like, team, you're never gonna get it.
I know. I love Cliff.
You know, his face reminded me of, you know, in the movie Airplane, what's his name with the plug in the in the airport? That's who it reminded me of.
It's a twister, NEM, it's a twister.
Yes.
Yes. But what we didn't mention earlier, I don't remember anyone mentioning, was that when JR came back to his office, Kristin was at the office. She pulled the same thing that she pulled on Jordan with JR, and JR said...
It was the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I'm tired of the little checks.
Yeah.
Basically saying, give me a lump sum, bitch, or I'm going to spill my beans.
You know, and that's what she says. I picked up an expensive habit in California.
Oh, did you?
I want to say cocaine.
Cocaine?
Right.
Well, she got busted.
Molly, what are you doing?
When they busted that party on Knots Landing that she was at with Kenny Ward, there was cocaine going around.
Oh.
No, she wasn't there with Kenny Ward. She was not there with Kenny Ward. She was there. She had, through mutual friends, she had ended up at this party, and she got busted. And then she called Valine to get her out of jail.
Oh.
Bitch, really?
So, I guess we're going to talk about this more later, but if she's picked it, because she hasn't expressly said the expensive habits, but we know that it's probably cocaine.
She's
so
partying. Yeah.
So she's been partying, because she literally just had that baby like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, are you breastfeeding that child?
So, like, she was doing cocaine while she was pregnant with unspoiler Christopher.
People drinking back then.
She stayed in Dallas long enough for that. She wouldn't have been able to pump enough breast milk to leave behind. So no, that baby's getting formula.
No. She's not breastfeeding. But
she's not breastfeeding.
They're insinuating that she was at least doing drugs while pregnant with Christopher.
Probably.
Sylvester brings up a good point that Tom Fichella, who played Dave Culver, was one of the people at the party on Knots Landing in that scene.
Oh.
Wait, was he? Wait, hold on. Wait, I know Knots Landing. What happened now? I know what party you're talking about. I did not know he was there.
Dave.
But he
the
wasn't
actor,
Dave Culver in that
no,
party.
he was another character, but he just happened to be another crossover.
I'm going to pretend it's the same person.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he was there under a pseudonym.
Dave. God. I'm disappointed in you.
Senator Dave, what are you doing to the cocaine party?
Not the cocaine.
Oh my God.
Not the cocaine.
They've cut together the audio from the tapes just to give a concise. And JR basically admits to starting the counter revolution, if that's what Leslie wants to believe. Yeah.
But he says it in a different way. Like he says, no, if that's what you want to hear. So you can take that however you want to take it. Like, just shut the fuck up. I'm just saying what you want to hear. Now have sex with me. Or you can take it as, of course I did.
Right.
So that's the whole thing. It's like, it's not really a definite, right? Is that right? Okay.
I mean,
that's the way I heard it. But I have a weird brain, so.
Let's get to JR's defense here.
Right, so JR just pulls a bunch of bullshit out of his ass, basically.
Surprise! Everybody drink that. Drink that.
Lee
Surprise.
Thong, who's the ambassador to his country, testifies that with Mr. Ewing's money, they helped build a new hospital and 2 new schools, and they will be named for Mr. Ewing.
Okay.
That came out to $9 million. That came out to $9,920,000 with $80,000 left for Claude Brown for services.
Wait, can you math again?
Dollars to shelf your asshole.
$9,920,000.
It's a lot of money. Okay.
Yeah, and then $80,000 for Claude Brown and his services.
And yet they still didn't get him out of the country.
Yes.
Damn.
His services.
Damn.
For 8,000.
80.
Yeah, but the other guy got 900 million. Or 9 million. Excuse me.
$900 million.
Yeah, and I got 80,000. Fuck no, I'm not getting out of the country. You're going under. Somebody else got 900 million. I got 80,000. Fuck you. I'm not getting out of the country.
No, you know what I would take? I would take 80,000 and an extradition to like somewhere in the Caribbean where I couldn't get back out. That's cool. Goodbye.
I wouldn't give a fuck. But you know what?
Nope.
I hope my mom's not watching this.
I mean, is she in the group? Because I know my parents aren't.
No, she's not on Facebook, but my grandmother is, and she keeps wanting to watch. I was like, tell her no. Because I was like,
nope.
She knows, but she doesn't.
Yeah.
But she knows I'm that grandkid. So, but this would be a little much for her, I think. Live, unedited.
My mother would be aghast. My mom is just recently on Facebook. And my mom, like, I think my mom would still slap me if she heard me
your
swear.
mom being like a cool mom. Like, my mom is like a Southern Belle Baptist, whatever. But she's pretty cool, but she doesn't like when I drink a lot.
My parents might be the cool ones of this group. I don't know. But at the same time,
my dad was.
I also don't want them to see me in my element because it's like.
My mom was born in 1939.
What?
Yeah.
That's like a full older, but 21 years before my dad. So
yeah. My mom,
different generation.
My dad is 5 years older than her. So they graduated in the 50s. My mom was like full Elvis Presley fan, poodle skirt. She worked in a drive-in.
Wait, hold on.
Damn.
Yeah.
So your mom is a year older than Linda Gray.
My mom turns 83 in a few weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. I was born 10 years after my youngest brother. I was a mistake.
My grandmother is 87. My other one is 93.
Were you the menopause baby?
I 100% was.
Okay.
Yes.
I was birth control baby.
See, I have hope. I have hope.
Yeah.
There's hope for me out there.
My brother always called me the accident, but I was actually, my parents says I was the
That's what my mom's talking. She's like, you are surprised. And I'm like, no, that just means accident. It means, you weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
There's no pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
So the end of the hearing here.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. This is what we do, you guys. We go off on tangents.
This is unedited.
Yeah.
But
you guys get
though. I love all the interaction.
I'm having so much fun.
Yeah, this is really fun.
I love interaction.
Okay, so where are we again? I lost track of where we are. Sorry, guys.
We were going over JR's defense.
Okay. Yeah, JR's defense. He just pulls bullshit out of his asshole. I was going to build a hospital and some schools and. Okay.
You're such a humanitarian, you motherfucker.
Yeah, and I just said that to Leslie to impress her. I'm like, okay.
Right.
Number 2.
And then what is his name? Thong? Am I getting that right?
Huh?
Thong.
I wanted to
Thong. It sounded like thong to me. Anyway, he is testifying, and then I love this part where he surprises JR. And he's like, also, Mr. Ewing was so nice, and he told us he's going to give 10% of the oil fields to us. And JR's just like, fuck, damn it. Okay, fine, whatever.
That's a smart little man.
That was a very smart thing to do because.
I was like, and he promised me his
second well played, Thong.
Mary, I need that on a coffee cup. I need the new one. We already have the Takapa and all that. I need well played, Thong. I need that for a coffee cup.
Okay, I'll put it up on the site.
Well played, Thong.
Well played, Thong.
Well played, Thong.
So then the committee guy, what's his name? The head of the committee?
Harbin?
Yes.
Mr. Committee?
He takes that moment to be like, well, I think we could just find him innocent, right, guys? And everyone's like,
What has he got on you? So I want to know, what does he have on you, sir?
He donated a bunch of money to his campaign and just threatened to like go to the other guy if
He's like,
yeah.
That's not enough for me.
But that's also J.R. Ewing, and he's a little he's a scary motherfucker. So
yeah.
And Cliff accuses JR of bribing government officials, and JR goes, haven't you learned if you're not going to get old JR, if you haven't gotten old JR now, you're never going to get old JR.
Okay, and we need to add to the drinking list every time JR calls himself old JR. Yeah, drink.
yes.
Oh, let's just go ahead and just practice.
And
Here we go.
I just noticed. I'm watching. I've got it on mute. I'm watching the live feed and the auto captions. And when I said "scary motherfucker," it did like asterisk. It censored me. Yes,
That's amazing.
Okay, I haven't been watching that. I mean, it's here, but I haven't noticing that. But you know that. Let me just see if it works. Hold on. Fuck. Yep. Oh, now it's doing you now. Hold on. Scary. Fuck. And watch. Hold on. It's a little behind.
yes, it's doing it.
Watch me. I haven't looked, but noticing.
You can tell this is our first time on Facebook Live.
Hold on.
I hope we don't scare anybody away and that people enjoy this and bring in more people.
I hope you guys aren't like mortified.
I think this is the real this is
And
the
I'm a
clip.
Southern Belle.
Children are listening, Melanie, says Sylvester. No.
What are your children doing listening to this explicitly rated podcast? That's what I want to know. Because then that E comes up when I put it on in the car.
I had to put that when we did iTunes because they found if we like swore that they would take us down.
Listener discretion advised.
Exactly.
We were in the car and I was showing it to her and I said, Mom, because she like has like a little bit ways to go to work in the morning, like where she lives and where she drives to work. She goes, oh, I love audiobooks. And I was like, well, she's like, I could listen to your, I was like, no. And then she goes, well, do you talk about me? And I was like, sometimes. But I said, it's mostly, my mom hates GD, but I try not to say it, but can't. But I say fuck all the time. Like, I'm sorry. I'm a Southern Belle with a
I try not to say GD much anymore either. When it comes out, I'm pissed.
My mother thinks that the word
I'm
suck.
sorry, Lord.
Well, my mother thinks that the word suck is worse than the F word that rhymes with it.
Really?
See, my aunt thinks that too. She said that's like the worst word like somebody can say that's not fuck.
No.
I just said fuck.
That's so weird.
No. Do we all like the word moist?
No.
I don't mind moist.
I don't
I'll
see
say
the
moist
problem.
all day long. I don't mind
like
that
the
at
word milk.
I can think of a lot of things that offend me more than these words in the English language.
I have a friend from college who the word that annoyed him the most was the word panties. He couldn't handle it.
I have a friend that's
and I'm
me.
like, panties?
Yeah, so ordered some from Amazon the other day, and Alexa announced it as what had just arrived. It's like, one order has just arrived, including panties. And I was like,
panties.
I was uncomfortable.
Is that like on the Golden Girls when they went in to buy condoms?
And they're like,
condoms, Rose! Condoms! I'm sorry. I love that.
Underwear,
so good.
panty.
So I'm thinking about doing, now that we know how to do it and we figured it out, I would like to do Facebook Lives for like the bigger episodes, like the Oil Barons balls, the Ewing barbecues, the season finales, those things.
And there's a couple episodes that aren't anything special, but they're special to us.
Oh, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So Oil Barons ball, I'm just letting you guys know who are watching right now. Like, I want it to be a thing where like, we're dressing up. We're dressing up. I want people who are listening to dress up like we're going to the goddamn Oil Barons ball. Okay, where are we?
We are at Cliff accusing JR of bribing officials.
Right, yeah.
Right.
And JR saying, you'll never get old JR. And then Cliff accuses Bobby of giving him the evidence and says he's going to go before the ethics committee.
And Bobby's like, literally, I didn't do that, Cliff.
I know, I feel bad.
I'm swearing to you on my life that I didn't do that. And Cliff is like, I don't believe you. And he's like, well, why don't you just come over tonight and talk about it?
And in fact, Cliff, it's because you got Cosby'd that why JR had that evidence.
Right.
So it's all on you, Cliff.
Bobby's like, before you go to the ethics committee, would you just come over to Southfork and talk about it? Which seems weird to me that Cliff would just agree to come to Southfork, but he's maybe growing his.
That's not neutral. That's not neutral territory.
It's not neutral, right? But maybe Cliff is growing as a person. He may be growing as a person.
JR could be home. You don't know that JR could be home too at the same time. So then JR parks in front of the office, drink.
Oh,
Here we go.
Okay, Kristin is waiting in his office.
What kind of chug was that, Josh?
No, she started it on Kristin. But JR tells Phyllis to get a hold of Leslie Stewart. Tells Luella to call the Cattlemen's Club to plan for a party the night before. And then write your letter of recommendation, because after not getting Claude Brown out of the country, you're fired.
Oh, damn.
Boom.
Cold.
She does it, yeah, I know. It's like this whole list. He's like, and fuck off. Like, this is what he does all the time.
That was cold-blooded.
He's a cold-hearted snake.
Look into his eyes.
Oh, I'll bring that up, Sylvester, after we finish the episode. That's an interesting.
I had that tape.
Thank you. Adding that to Apple Music right now.
Yeah, such a good song. It's such a
I
good.
listened to it in the morning.
JR goes in, says, Kristin, you're not getting another penny out of me, and you best get out of Dallas. And she says, well, I can make quite a scam. And he goes, I think that you're still within the statute of limitations for I could have you arrested for shooting me.
And she's like, oh, right. Whoops. Okay. And then he says, or I'll send around some good old boys to take care of you, which is like, okay, JR.
Excuse me. And I wanted to know, I want to know what the hell he meant by that very specific threat, because I know what I think of when I think of good old boys from around here being sent around to see me. It means
Dukes of Hazzard?
Beat your ass and hide your body.
No, not Dukes of Hazzard. It means I'm going to meet them in the dark with my 9mm behind my back.
And then I said,
I believe.
What do you think about good old boys coming up on my property to see me? And it scares the shit out of me.
It sounds like sexual assault to me.
Exactly.
Good old.
Right.
I'd be meeting anybody coming up on me like that with my gun.
In the South, the good old boys is the boys club. It means beat your ass and hide your body. That's what it means.
Basically, that is the Yellowstone equivalent is take them to the train station.
And I'm going to disclose fully right now. Yes. I am a card-carrying liberal with a gun. Look. So there's that. Oh. Because motherfuckers be crazy.
It's a scary threat, I think.
It was very...
It's a scary threat.
It was scary, and it was specific, and I didn't like it at all.
Not like it
and
either.
She says it's not over yet, and she leaves in her nice white dress.
Yes, it's not over yet. Yeah, which is a thing that I feel like people say a lot to JR. It's not over yet.
Right.
I'll get you, JR.
Oh my God.
Speaking of white dresses, Sue Ellen arrives to the store in a nice white outfit with blue trim to meet Pam, who's wearing a white outfit with brown trim.
And Pam has the worst hair ever in the scene. I just want to say it. It's so bad.
Worse than the poodle do?
It's like a condensed poodle doodle. Like it's like flat.
Poodle doodle.
It's like in a square on her head. Sue Ellen goes to see Pam with her terrible hair. And
it's not as poofy as it was before.
It's not poofy. That's what I'm saying. I think it's worse because it's like as if it was poofy and it's just like pushed in.
It's not as the curls aren't as tight. They're like looser? Like, why am I doing this? I don't know. It's like
I don't know how to explain it. It's just bad. It's just not good.
It's very
I feel like
1981.
I feel like Victoria Principal is trying really hard this season to have curly hair, and it's just not going for her. It's not going well.
She had to brush out perm.
I think if they did like a body wave, like from here down, maybe. But from here,
it's just not
perm.
It's not going well for her.
That kind of perm, because I've done it. It doesn't look good on people like me.
It's an Ogilvy.
If you do like loose curls from like here down, it looks better.
Sue Ellen asked for Pam's help to get John Ross off of Southfork.
Right. Yes.
This is what I feel like their friendship. This is the culmination.
I think so too.
Yes. This is what kicks Sue Ellen and Pam from being like housemates to like friends.
Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I like them friends.
Yeah.
I know they don't always
They
eye to eye, but I like them.
They needed
friends
each other. They did.
Yes, for sure.
for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And Leslie is
Girl
preparing
power.
champagne as JR arrives. He says he would have done the exact same thing, putting
That she did.
self-preservation.
Right, because she admits, she's like, I'm sorry, you probably hate me because I did all this shit. And he's like, actually, I get it. I would have done the same thing to you if the tables were turned.
Kind of turns me on.
Right, and
Let's
basically
get it
they
on.
they have mutual admiration for each other, and
They
he's
hit the
basically-
sheets.
He's basically like, I'm still interested in you, and she was like, you still are, and he's like, you want to do it just for fun, and she's like, all right, sure, why not? So then,
Touch my Mr. No Shoulders.
So they do it just for fun.
So while they're doing it, Kristin is on the phone in another hotel. She looks strung out and she's pissed off.
She's
and
like itching. She's itching herself.
And I will say though, it's almost like, because I've always, okay, I'm gonna say something. Everyone's gonna hate me. I've never really liked her that much as an actress on here, just because of like things that bother me. But this scene, I was like, she kind of made me like.
Brad said, "Remember when the podcast was shorter than the episodes, and then Melanie joined."
Burn.
What?
Wow.
We needed Melanie. We did. We need Melanie.
Don't you think that she did good?
Sorry, you ain't gonna get rid of me that easily.
She's.
What the hell just happened? I'm so confused.
The three of you are wearing. The three of you are wearing white dresses when we go to Southfork, and we're going to see who ends up in the pool. No.
No, I won't wear white.
You do that?
I can't wear white. I'll wear a white shirt. How about that? Or a sundress with a jean jacket and a cowboy hat.
I want that like off the shoulder white sundress that Jenna wore at the Ewing barbecue. I'd wear that.
So yeah.
Anyway.
Kristin is on the phone,
yeah.
strung out, saying it didn't work. He's going to regret what he's.
Yeah.
Do you think she's doing her coke?
I wrote, she's pissed and maybe fucked up.
She looks
I think
strung
she's
out.
so mad. She's like,
she can't be that strung out because, like, we saw her in the other scenes. She didn't look at all fucked up in those scenes.
No,
so,
have you ever just been so mad? Like, you're so mad that you like start to tear up, but you're not. You don't want to cry. You're so fucking mad. Like you don't know another emotion to let go.
You're trying not to kill somebody. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I would murder someone else, and I'm like, ugh. But I mean, I've been like, where your knuckles are white.
Red rum.
I'm a rage.
I feel like they're trying to play up this like drugs thing in this episode that I feel is a little strong. I feel like it's a little overdone because I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to rewatch that scene, I believe.
Although we don't know she's on anything because nothing is verbally said.
I didn't think it was obvious that she was on drugs. Really?
No, it wasn't. That's what I'm saying.
I think they just made it where she was just so crazy, like mad.
Right.
But when she said that earlier in this, you want to say, ooh, hey, doggy.
So JR and Leslie have finished doing it.
Yeah, she's got like tons of orange peels or tangerine peels laying in front of her too. Like that's weird. Like if anything is weird on the thing.
And JR delivers the line to Leslie. He goes, well, it really wasn't worth the wait.
What an asshole.
It really wasn't worth the wait, JR
They're
says.
both like, well, that didn't live up to the expectations. And I feel like they're kind of both on the same plane.
I think they were both on the same page because she didn't. If he had said, if he had said that to like Luella, can you imagine how that would have gone over?
Right, Luella would have been like,
but Leslie's like, "Ha, you suck in bed too."
She's like, "Oh my god, yeah, glad you said it first, buddy."
But I kind of like that her beautiful purple eyeshadow match her purple lavender silk robe.
Chris said, "Cue Mary's line again." Is that "fuck you, JR"? Or
fuck you, JR, for that? Well, maybe.
Fuck you,
but I feel
fuck you poorly, JR.
I guess
it's not good.
But she agreed. It seemed like it just wasn't good sex. They didn't have good chemistry.
Kristin was actually on the last two episodes this season.
Okay.
She did blackmail Jordan Lee in the previous episode.
You can't force something that isn't there.
Right. And I feel like they're both there like, okay, well that, and I feel like, so in this scene, I feel like JR feels like he fucked her. So now he feels like he's like got something over her or something. And she's just like, yeah, no, you suck too. It wasn't great. And,
it feels like it's like a mutual breakup.
Yeah. Right. But he thinks that now he's on top and she's just like, Okay, yeah, I don't. Whatever. Bye.
Part of me thought it was him. Part of me thought it was him going to get her in bed to finish what he was doing, and then slapping her down for turning on him in a way.
He's trying to make it like, okay, well, I just fucked you, and now I'm walking out, and she's just
it's the hunt.
Yeah, well, you weren't that great either.
Right. And then I got you. Bye, motherfucker.
It's like, I just used you too, and it wasn't that great. So
right, exactly.
So we're good. Okay,
I mean, Leslie just needed
bye. And then he's walking out, and then she's just like, just let you know, like, you're still my type of guy. And he's just like, what? Okay.
And he's like, she's like, and get your Mr. No Shoulders out of here.
Even LaShawn said the same thing. She's like, so okay, we good? Move on. Basically,
good, cool, back out.
And he even tells her to call Jeremy Wendell, who's probably not happy with her right now. And she says that JR is still her kind of man, and he says nothing and then leaves.
No, because he's just like, because I think he feels like he's got some kind of power, and then she says that and kind of takes it back a little bit, and he doesn't know how to respond, so he just jets.
And I viewed that as I also viewed that as like, you know, she said that he's still her kind of man, which kind of said like almost like she's still interested, and he's like saying to himself, "Yeah, not happening."
No, she's
peace
playing
out,
him.
And walking out.
She doesn't care.
I think she's playing him. She does not give a shit.
Doing that to be nice, kind of like a.
No, she's making a power move.
It really is. I mean,
it's a power move.
Have you guys never like tried to make a power move, but at the same time they don't realize it's a power move when you're trying to escape from a situation like that, where they're like, "Oh, I'd like to see you again." You're like, we'll talk about that.
Well, totally, yeah.
Oh, geez, I gotta wash my hair. I gotta do the homework. I gotta walk the hog. I got some laundry to.
Goodbye.
Right. Okay.
Exactly. I'm gonna lose your number now. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. What's it called whenever you say not service message?
It's not you. It's me.
Power play?
Something. No, we were talking about this before one time, like a public announcement, or what is it called?
PSA?
Yes.
PSA.
Okay, this is my PSA. The best way to get rid of a guy. I went on a blind date. And I'm so, I'm not taking my own horn. I'm a very, very nice person. Okay? Promise. I don't like confrontation. I don't want to fight with you unless you piss me off.
And I don't like making people feel bad. No.
But I'm not going to sit there on a date with somebody that we have nothing in common. They're paying for my food, my drinks. It's just, I'm not going to be that kind of person.
Girl, I don't let them pay for my food.
Well, I'm
taking the bill.
This is like one of my first dates after my divorce. And I looked at him and I was like, listen. I was like, you remind me so much of my brother. That was a total turn off. I came back from the bathroom. Fucker was gone. He left me with the bill, the tab, all of his drinks.
Oh my God.
This man next to us that had his new girlfriend with us, he had been sitting there the whole time. We kind of been joking all around. He was like, I took care of your tab. Because he saw him do it. And he gave it was a $98 tab. We were there
Holy shit.
I said, how much fucking beer did that motherfucker drink? I had 2 martinis. Had not even got my food out yet.
See, that's when I usually...
but if you want to get rid of a guy, tell him I'm your brother.
That's when I pay for my part and make sure he's paid. And that's like when we're walking out to the parking lot, it's like, I don't think this is going to work. Because I think I told you guys... I think I told you guys a couple years ago about that date I went on where that woman saw it was like... The other woman saw it was going real bad. Yes. And she was like, do you mean to like... Get you out of here. It was like, damn. I'm just glad there's nice people in the world, but...
Sylvester, that will be our spin-off called Saving People from Bad Dates, yeah. JR goes home, and he suddenly wants to play daddy, looking for John Ross.
Right? Father's Good job.
Only thing, John Ross is...
He's gone.
Blowing in the wind. He's gone.
I feel like this is the first time he's ever gone to see John Ross in his room in the evening.
2 Hall & Oates references in one episode. And he blows a gasket when he finds out that the Mrs. Ewing that took John Ross out of there was Pamela.
I literally wrote down,
phone.
Sucks to be you.
He's on the phone to McSween. Second time we see McSween in this episode.
McSween is
and he wants her found. She's driving Ewing 6 black Porsche, and he wants her found, but doesn't want her brought in or made a public deal out of it.
Says to keep it on the down low. Keep it on the
He wants to handle it privately. Maybe send some good old boys.
Hell no.
Maybe he'll send some good old boys down to deal with her after they're done with Kristin.
Gross.
She's your sister-in-law. She's your brother's wife. You call your brother, and then you get your brother to find her, and you say, Pam, you did wrong. Bring him home. That's how you handle it. Right. You don't call McSween, the local officers, and the good old boys. Keep it on the DL. No. That's how you get your brother.
He's always at a 10. He's always at a 10. He's always overreacting.
You never call the good old boys. Ever.
Don't ever call good old boys. Good old boys bad. Bad.
The good old boys are bad. No.
Do we see what happened when the good old boys followed Valine to her mother's and took Lucy? I know, that's what I
think of. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was kind of like, that was so early on. That was like real like roughneck Texas. Like that was like the good old.
That didn't even take place. He followed her to like Tennessee or West Virginia, wherever the hell she was going.
Yeah. So Cliff tries to call Pam. Jackie says she went home. Cliff says no problem. He's headed there to see her there himself, so it's not a big deal. Yeah?
Cliff pulls up on the soundstage in his car, gets out. He's about to go in.
Oh, we drink.
He sees a woman doing the old floaty float in the pool.
And he immediately reacts. He's like, oh my God, someone's in the pool. So he jumps in and tries to save him.
He does more than JR would have done.
Yes, he does.
JR wouldn't have jumped in the fucking pool.
Well, we see that because JR is standing up on the balcony with a broken railing and a drink in his hand.
JR has something to say.
Before JR comes out.
Yes.
If you rewind to the scene and watch it again, he doesn't just jump. He goes da-da-da-da. He does like a Broadway leap in the pool. He goes double step, and both knees up. Please watch it. It is a Broadway double step leap. Promise.
And the woman is wearing white.
The
woman is wearing white, so it could be Pam, it could be Sue Ellen, it could be Kristin.
And it does like a dolly in like it's doing a zoom and a dolly at the same time. So when he turns her over, we can't see who it is.
You see the white, and then you see kind of some brown hair.
Are they in the soundstage?
Yeah, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah,
who's like Gremlin is in the driveway?
Because they've got
There's a gremlin.
Like the car, did you see it? It's like a gremlin in the driveway.
My best friend in high school had a gremlin, a 75 Gladwin.
There he goes, and
because I know when they're in the studio, they're more likely to have the 3 camera thing going on. I just didn't know about if they did the same on location back then. Probably not. I don't know.
What's the Broadway show?
They could have done a dolly and a zoom at the same time.
What's the Broadway show?
But I do believe it was on the soundstage. It looks like it's on the soundstage to me.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, no, it was clearly on the soundstage because they were not filming in Texas.
Yeah, it was very echoey. Like the splash and everything was, it sounded like they were inside.
Had to bend those legs because of the shallow soundstage pool. Right.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes.
So what's the, what's the Broadway show? Not The Outsiders. It's like that.
West Side Story.
West Side Story, yeah.
Yes, that's he was like, and leave.
With George Chakiris, who ended up on Dallas.
With 2 people
Russ
from
Tamblyn.
Twin Peaks. Russ Tamblyn and the other guy from two Twin Peaks people in West Side Story.
Richard Beymer.
Richard Beymer,
and move outside so I can plug it in. We've been on so long.
So he says, she's dead, you bastard. And JR's just standing there with his drink.
He's so calm with his drink, like he knows.
That's what I was thinking. And plus, it's like, he was like, you bastard. Like,
well,
let's see. Sue Ellen has John Ross, so he wouldn't mind if she was knocked off. Pam took John Ross, so he wouldn't.
And right. And in JR's defense, right now, like Josh was saying, he's probably, you know how he's like a functioning alcoholic? He's probably fucking bombed and it's just like, dead woman in my pool. What the fuck am I going to do about it?
Dead woman
he's probably so dead women in his pool.
He's probably so gone he doesn't fucking understand the gravity of it right now. He's just like come out on the balcony like,
oh my God, they're going to hear it again.
And now there's a Barnes in my pool with a dead woman.
Okay, let me tell you this real quick.
Whoa, that killed 2 birds with 1 stone here. Not merrily.
Oh, I think it's Teresa in the pool. Raul got pissed. Oh,
shit. Oh, Teresa.
It could be Teresa. Teresa. I could see it's Teresa.
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 Get the bag.
Poor Teresa.
Yeah, where was she? She could be around.
She's in the movie.
All the bad shit happens when the staff is off for the night, by the way.
Because they do all the
night
work.
off. That's what happened. The gremlin.
They do all the work.
Going forward, just keep that in mind because I don't want to be like spoilers, but bad shit happens when none of them are working.
You're right. I went automatically. I think it's
because if they're not there, nothing works. Because the Ewings don't know how to do a goddamn thing for themselves, even answer the phone.
Do not let them cook, clean, operate any machinery on their own.
They're also the ones that managed to put the things over the phone cords to cover them up, the mats.
Right.
So that run all over the pool area in the house. And they'd be tripping all over themselves. And Lucy moved back to Southfork, and we did not see her at all in this episode.
No, she wasn't in this episode at all.
She took a break, too.
We don't know.
Well, she's not in the pool because she's blonde.
She's in meditation.
Hey, she may have been going through her emo phase and might have dyed her hair dark brown. Okay, we all you know what? When we're having problems, women dye their hair.
That's true. I mean, that's true for me.
It is true. And they say, do not cut your hair or dye your hair within 6 weeks of a breakup.
I did all of those.
So did my daughter, and so did I.
So that is the end of season 4.
End of season 4.
And I want to give a special shout out award to Jim Davis for his gutsy performance this season while battling illness.
Jim Davis got R.I.P.
Isa says she is never going by the WB count. She's calling this season 3. I'm going with I have to go with what the majority are referring to it as season 4.
I know.
Just for reference, we're going to go by the DVD count.
I know. That's the thing. We had to decide when we started the podcast how we were going to say it because I'm used to the old school way too, where this would be the end of season 3. But then, like,
when we had a large argument about this too.
I know. The DVDs and the streaming all go by this counting. So that's what we decided to go by just to make it easiest. But yeah, I agree with you. This should be the end of season 3. But
and that's
I'm the one who got this wrong at the 40th anniversary where I said there were 13 seasons and they told me I was wrong in front of fucking Patrick Duffy. And I was like, I'm not wrong. There were 13 seasons. What are you talking about? He said, no, there were 14. I was like, no.
And that's
so you count
that's
the
like
first 5 as one season. Got it. Okay.
The miniseries season.
Right?
And that's like the debate over 356 to 357 episodes when they broke it up for syndication because Conundrum was 2 hours.
Yeah.
It ended up being 357.
I know. It is confusing.
It's very confusing for Dallas.
357 plus 40 in the new series. That's 397 plus the movies.
By the
breaks
way,
over 400.
Once we get to those seasons, I'm going to start calling those like season 15, 16, 17.
John Michael Milton said that was you.
Yes, that was goddamn fucking me.
That was you. Wait, where was that, Mary?
Oh, 357 and a 357 and a half because there was 190-minute episode.
Wait, Mary, when was that? When did you do that?
He said
at the 40th,
Swan Song was 90 minutes.
Yes.
At the 40th, so they asked trivia. There was a trivia question. We were standing by that guy, and they asked how many seasons were there. And some lady who was standing there, she was like, I don't know, 9. And he was like, nope. And I was like, I know. And I grabbed it, and I was like, 13. And he was like, nope. And I was like, what? And then someone said 14, and I was like, that is incorrect. And then there was a whole thing, and I actually went up to the guy, and I was like, you're wrong. There were 13 seasons. And he was like, no, there's 14. I was like, am I smoking crack? Because what? No,
because
there are
13
13
different ways to look at it.
I know.
They're both correct.
I didn't realize it at the time, so that's why I decided when we started doing the podcast.
I've settled in because the first 5 aired during the 77-78 season as a mid-season replacement.
I know. We can count it. That's what. It's like losing a battle, so I just went with it.
And then if you count the war...
we will win the war.
No, if you count the early years as break it up as that was 3 hours long on when it aired.
2 hours, wasn't it?
3.
Okay.
It was a 3-hour movie.
Next
it's been a while since I watched it.
Look, we've got about 8 years before we get there now.
Nights,
so
right?
No, it was 1 3-hour night. It was a 1 3-hour.
Maybe 3, Melanie.
With commercials, it was 3 hours long.
I bet I will be
with commercials. Okay.
Sylvester said yes.
So
45 years old by the time we get to the end of the series before we even hit the movies.
So
Shut up.
3, 2,
Now we
2.
55.
So if you count the movies as episodes, then that's another 7 episodes.
No, we won't. We'll count those separately as movies.
48.
58.
Right, but I'm saying if you do syndication,
48.
I'm at 58.
404 and a half hours of material.
53.
404 hours.
That's sad.
We can't math.
Okay, so I did 4.6 bourbons, and it's not over yet, JR.
I got to remember what I was going to say. I know it was a 4.75, just because I like the cliffhanger part, but it isn't my favorite. But I like a lot of other things. But I'm going to give it a 4.75 and $3 million out of the bank.
Yes.
I'm going with about a 4.85 because I just love the way they bring storylines together, ending season, and setting up what's going to be an interesting 5th season.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with 3 drops in the drink.
A Quaalude?
Of Cosby.
A Riffy. Cosby Riffy.
You got
Cosby.
motherfucker.
You put the roofies in the pudding, you put the pudding in the woman, and you do the poop to poop to poop.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I wish you could cut this.
I can if I do editing later.
But not live.
By the way,
We
you guys
don't
should watch
speak
that
of that
Cosby
man.
documentary. If you can, that we need to talk about Cosby documentary. I think it's on HBO Max or
I haven't watched it yet, but I have.
It's so good. It's so good. It's just
Is it
how
creepy?
someone so bad can do good things.
It's kind
I
of
think
like
that's what it's
you
about.
know,
Between Cosby and the father on Seventh Heaven and Al Bundy, who would have thought Al Bundy would have ended up the most normal?
Exactly. But the Seventh Heaven guy really disappointed.
Yeah, Stephen Collins disappointed me too. Like, holy shit.
I will never
I
be
was like, what?
over Bill Cosby.
That was my favorite.
It's
I'll never
all
be over
very
I'll
sickening.
never be over it.
So I give this one 4.8 bourbons and a post-nup for Ray about that $3 million.
Ooh.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
Y'all, her
That's a
little
good one.
face. I wish they would have
I
shown her later in the
know.
scene. Like,
I know.
I wish they would have shown her come home. She's like, it's about time for me to go home. Kind of left that a cliffhanger, too. She's going to eat his ass when she gets home.
Oh, thanks, Brad.
Bad.
Ew.
You know what I meant. That was a Southern thing.
Okay. Well, thanks you guys for hanging out tonight. This was super fun.
It was
Yes.
fun.
I had
This
a
was
lot of
really
fun.
fun. This is really
I
fun.
like bringing in the other comments. We might have to do this.
I know. I like
Maybe
that
more
a lot.
often because it's
More
this
often.
is
Melanie
really
has a
fun.
good tag.
I don't really have a good tagline. Hey, does somebody who's still listening want to give me a tagline to close the episode
yeah,
with?
we do
Because
that. Yeah.
mine was stupid. It was about Quaaludes or drugs or something. I can't remember. I put my notebook away. Give me,
JR, it's Mama.
give me. Oh my God, that's actually good. But I want to hear the others.
Yeah. So if someone has it. Just a reminder that we're still trying to. We're gonna donate money to the memory of Jim Davis on braintumor.org. So and we're doing that just for the likes and 5-star reviews that we get on Apple Podcasts. So that's a really easy way for you guys to help donate money, is to just go give a quick like or 5-star review, and that helps braintumor.org. That helps us, everything. Also, if you want to go and donate the money yourself to that, just let us know and we'll give you a shout out. Check us out.
Merchandise.
Check us out on Patreon if that's something you're interested in. I just uploaded 8 outtakes from our last episode because we're psychopaths
Yeah,
and we went
I kinda
off topic a lot on that one.
As you can see here.
As you can see, right.
Mary edits out arguments, too.
I do.
We really don't argue, but it's funny.
It's only happened a couple times.
We've only had a couple of really bad arguments.
Probably like,
But all good now. It's all good now.
Should we stage a few arguments just for ratings?
Sure.
No.
Why the hell not? Oh my God.
Yeah. We have merch, which I'm trying to work on more merch. So if there's like an idea of some sort of like dream Dallas t-shirt that you have, send it to me because I need ideas.
What did I say earlier?
What?
What did I say earlier? I already forgot.
I'll hear it when I go back.
Thong. Something about the thong.
Yeah, something about the thong. Yeah. Yeah, and I'll maybe do
Dude, Sarah, you should have it printed on a thong.
Oh my God. Dallas thongs, can you imagine?
I haven't worn a thong in 10 years, Melanie.
Dude, live a little.
Anyone want to see my Dallas banana hammock? No.
No.
I'm serious. I'm serious. Get that, like, whatever it was, something thong printed on a thong and wear it for Scott. There you go.
There you go. Done and done.
Be like, here's my merch.
I'll be like, selfie.
I'll have.
Well, you don't have to model. You don't have to model it. I'm just saying, be like, hey, here's my Dallas thong for thong.
The banana hammock. Danger noodle here.
Oh my God.
Anyway, this was really fun, and I guess we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for guys. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Y'all come back now for season 5. You hear?
Drink a Jaeger bomb.
That wasn't worth the wait. That sounds very, very disappointing, doesn't it?
Wasn't worth the wait.
It wasn't worth the wait.
No, bye.
Bye.
Cheating at poker to win me some dollars, twisting the ear of a kid till he hollers. Scaring young girls with lascivious grins. These are just some of my favorite sins. I like to be nasty, I like to be hated, I'd like to be voted the cat of the year. Some people are happy to touch you with laughter, but I get my kicks when I bring you to tears. Bankrupting partners with fiscal adventures, selling my brother my worthless debentures. Hearing them cries like sweet violin. These are some more of my favorite sins. My garden's a pasture for greenhorns and suckers. I rear 'em and shear 'em and skin 'em alive. I've never been troubled by goodwill and kindness. There ain't no percentage in that kind of jive. My recipe for the cake of good living, 1 pound of taking to each ounce of giving. Sift out the scruples and store in a jar. Serve it on ice with a dash of hell, you know my name. My favorite sins, my favorite sins. Y'all come and drink to my favorite sins. Yeah.